I'm just gonna give it a few moments here before I start yapping for real. And yeah, nice. Very good. Very good. We're live. How's it going, everybody? Mr. Holton here. How you guys doing? We're live again. It's been a while. It's actually been too long. It's been like 20 days or something. Today, I just wanted to check in and talk a little bit about sci-fi gaming for a moment here. It just struck me that, hey, you know, we got a bunch of games actually starting to come out, especially after making my KOTOR remake video. And after talking about the Star Wars, you know, games coming out, and it's like, oh, why don't we do like a live stream where we like talk about these games that are essentially pretty much like in the same sphere? So sci-fi RPGs again, very nice. Let's talk about it. Let's chat about some stuff. There's been a couple of things here that I do want to talk about, that I do want to bring up. Maybe a few silly ones, but I still think it's a good idea to talk on it, because I imagine some people are like curious. So we're gonna get into that. Reldy, how you doing? Welcome, Lame. What's up? Good for me. I was on holiday. Very nice. Well, welcome back. Ryan, how you doing, man? Welcome. Pragmata comes out today. Was that today? God damn it. That was today? Well, damn. I mean, I didn't completely forget about that game, but I've been so stuck just, you know, writing scripts and editing and playing Crimson Desert and playing Dune Awakening and Star Wars The Old Republic. And god damn it, I'm playing too many games. Like, I can't keep track of what I'm doing. How's it going, Starcross? Welcome. Demian, what's up? Oh yeah, and I've been doing my taxes as well. Ah. God. Very nice. 10 p.m. your time. What time is that? Is that in a few hours then? Mouse PI comes out today. Mouse PI. What's Mouse PI? Is that something I've never heard about? And by the way, we're just, you know, cold chatting here for a moment, because I'm imagining that people are gonna come in here, because it's usually around this time that you guys over in the US start to like come online, and folks come home from the US, or the EU, I mean, across the world and such. So, you know, we're just, you know, chilling for a moment before we dive into it. Arvos, welcome, man. How you doing? Exodus drop today. Exodus drop? Are you expecting me to drop something today? I'm not. Did they drop? Well, they did drop that little thing before on Twitter, I think. But I don't think they've dropped any new gameplay or anything like that. But we were going to talk about that as well. Holy shit, no! Actually, fuck! Ellen actually gave me the news right here. We actually got a new Exodus sneak peek. We're going to check that out later, actually. Oh, that's crazy. I did not expect that. Very nice. I'm just going to put that up over here. Let's pull that over there. Well, god damn it. Thank you so much, Ellen. I haven't seen it yet. You'll see my live reaction. Megan, how you doing? Chill. Yeah, chill. How you doing, Dusky? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Georgie, you just saw the gameplay reveal. No spoilers. No spoilers. Scorn, the man himself. Hey, welcome, man. Pragmata is starting to reel me in. I think I'm gonna jump on and get it. Do it. It seems like it's reviewing very well, so that's cool. You know, it's like Father Simulator. Which is crazy. Because we've been like talking a lot about, you know, children and stuff like that. Me and my girlfriend. It's like, is it time? We're getting old. I don't know. They have been doing these weekly drops on Thursdays. I never counted the days, actually, but is it Thursdays? Cool. Well, I should know that, but I... You know, it's just, you know, me being me. By the way, I just want to make sure I mention this. Very important. Now, we have opened the Discord for people who pay $5 and above and become like veteran members over on Patreon, but I also felt like it was kind of unfair to folks here on YouTube for anybody who's paying like $5. So if you're paying for the veteran, the Ensven veteran, oh shit, I'm stuck. Of course, my stupid camera. In just a moment. It's been messing with me a lot lately, I'm not sure why. Anyway, so if you have the Ensven veteran here on YouTube, if you actually have the paying subscription thing, the member thing, you can access the Discord now, so you should automatically be able to access the Ensven Discord, but you need to connect your YouTube with your Discord account. So, you know, just in case you didn't know, in case you want to support the channel here, you can do so. And, you know, get access to the Discord server, so it's the Ensven veteran rank and above. New Metro also has a reveal today. Oh, damn. Very nice. I got 4 kids and I'm so tired. It's great. I love it. I would imagine, Scorn. You know, it's probably amazing, but it's... I like my free time. I prefer my free time. I wouldn't know because I don't have children. Maybe I wouldn't prefer my free time. So, but in case you like, somebody here was like, oh, you know, why aren't there any real rewards here on YouTube? Well, now there is. So, hey, we got to talk about this one. Let's start off with the big one, the obvious one. Let's. By the way, before we do that, I feel like I kind of gotta bring this up. Where is it? So I did a poll today because I just wanted to kind of check how you guys are feeling, what people are feeling about the sci-fi RPG space. There we go. I asked, what's your most anticipated sci-fi RPG right now? And we got Mass Effect, actually, 37%. I was expecting that to be lower. And actually, Exodus is just at 18%. Well, they're kind of, you know, even, sort of, but it's still, oh, the Expanse, Osiris, Reborn, 22%. The KOTOR remake and FOTOR, 23%. I couldn't make this separate because YouTube just has like 4 options for this poll. Very interesting. The next Mass Effect, 37%. Yeah, what a surprise. Sure, what a surprise. But still, you know, I'm still a little surprised because a lot of the comments here is like, you know, when you read the comments, it's not something you would expect. Like Mr. Kickdo, I'll be absolutely floored if that BioWare game sees the light of day. Mass Effect is BioWare's last hope, with 13 upvotes there. There's a few comments talking about, you know, the fact that they don't really look forward to Mass Effect that much anymore, and it's very interesting how that has changed. And if you look across like communities and everything, it's like people are very, you know, laid back on the Mass Effect excitement, which I understand because of everything that's happened. But I was still like surprised. I was like, come on, Exodus, come on, show some love here. But then again, you know, I get it. They haven't really shown too much of the game just yet in terms of like dialogue. I think dialogue is probably a big one for Exodus. People want to see like actual dialogue options and choices, picking like a certain choice or something, or see more of the characters, because that's something we haven't really seen with Exodus. We've seen more of Expanse's characters, I feel, than Exodus. Exodus for me, in Drew Karpyshyn, I trust. Same, Georgie. Same. Because I met him. Ooh, so cool. No, but yeah, yeah, I trust him. I trust that guy. I think we had a lot of fun with our theories and hype and excitement, but I'm also kind of keeping myself in realistic check about the next Mass Effect. Yeah, same here, kind of, honestly. It feels kind of shitty to say that as a creator. But then again, you know, also because I feel like I need to be responsible, and a responsible creator, I don't want to be completely, you know, oh no, this is going to suck, or this is going to be the greatest thing ever. I think it's good to keep an open mind, but still be like, yeah, you know, still be realistic about the situation, because we simply don't know, you know, how's it really looking behind the scenes. We don't know how the team is feeling right now. We don't know what the consequences after the acquisition by PIF is going to look like. We're not exactly, you know, we have some ideas, but we don't really know. Hello, how you doing? I'm jelly you met him. Well, I mean, a lot of people probably meet him every day when he's going to the store, so I mean, it's not really that special, but I shouldn't say that because that sounds offensive to Drew Carpishin, but it was cool. It was cool, especially because I am a fan of his writing, so. I'm a Emmy Universe fiend. I love the world of the trilogy so much. So until I can try other options, Emmy is at the top of the list, for sure. I mean, that's reasonable. Absolutely. Anyway, let's move on to the first thing here. Let's see what you guys have to say. I really want you guys to comment on this and let me think, or let me know what you think about this. You may have seen this article a few days ago. Yeah, 4 or 5 days ago. And I didn't really give this article a chance because the headline is so baity. But it actually follows the article, so we're gonna check out this article and what Fraser Brown has to say here. How BioWare can make an unlikely comeback and why it never will. The first step is canceling Mass Effect. So this is obviously a little bit baity because PC Gamer has been doing this now for a while, where they're going with the most, you know, let's say the most you know, grueling thing ever to make people click on our articles. The once prestigious RPG studio is in a serious rut, but there's a way out. Now let's give this guy a chance. Let's read through the entire article. The Mass Effect is not written by Drew Carpishin, so I'm not excited. I see. Yeah, you mean the next Mass Effect is not written by him. I get it. I mean, there are, you know, reasons why people are fans of his writing. Yeah, they're a little bit rage baity for sure. Let's give this guy a shot though. At the end of 2024, I resigned myself to the fact that BioWare was no longer capable or willing to make the kind of RPGs that once cemented it as the titan of the genre, or to put it more selfishly, the kind of RPGs I wanted to play. After the Veilguard, which followed Anthem, which followed Andromeda, I'd lost faith. Already here, I think, you know, people are getting sold already on the article because I think a lot of people feel the same way here. I'm not sure if I would say that I disagree with him here because this is obviously what a lot of people have been feeling. I was emphatic and probably a little bit dramatic. I was out and the studio that excited me more than any other RPG developer was long gone. A year and change later has caused my fire to dim, leaving behind disappointment, but not as much dismay. I played more Baldur's Gate 3. I fell head over heels for Esoteric Ebb. I annoyed some people by insisting that Crimson Desert was definitely an RPG. Well, we actually kind of agree. I think Crimson Desert is much more of an RPG than a lot of games, actually. And a pretty damn good one to boot, but the distance from the Veilguard has also made room for speculation. Could BioWare make a comeback? And what would that even look like? Well, first some hard truths for the folks who understandably bounced off the Veilguard. A lot of people liked BioWare's last RPGs. Reviews were broadly positive, including our own, and it was initially celebrated by EA for becoming its biggest Steam launch. It also managed to net a few awards along the way, while the narrative that BioWare has lost its touch has become increasingly popular and repeated over the last decade, and I believe it to be true. There is no consensus that the Veilguard was a dud. See, this is kind of what gets me. It's like, but it kind of was though. I mean, it reached, he even says they're here, like, okay, first of all, Mr. Fraser, you're getting something wrong. Anyway, with that out of the way, the Veilguard was a dud. A year and a half later after its launch, and its user review ranking on Steam is sitting at mixed, and its first 3 months sales reached... No! It didn't. No, we don't know if sales reached 1.5 million copies. This is what he gets wrong. It reached. Reached is not the same as sold. Reached could be in subscriptions and things like that. People play it kind of for free or through a subscription service. It doesn't mean sales. So already this point is kind of wrong. So already I'm just like, The article is kind of, he's kind of reaching here. I'm not really sure what he's trying to say with this, though. That it was successful? It definitely wasn't. I mean, you may think that it sounds a lot on paper, but it's actually not considering the amount of money you have to spend on making a AAA game today. Not only that, but the amount of years this game has been in production. So when you like put all of it together, it's like, that was definitely a dud. Punished reached 1.5 million players, not copies. True, yeah. It wasn't sold at 1.5. Yeah, they wanted at least twice this much. But I digress, whatever. It's not super important, but still it's like one of those details. Publishers like EA have frequently inflated expectations, but I don't think it was unrealistic in this case. It was not. 3 million, I think, was pretty realistic. It's Dragon Age. A decade before, Dragon Age Inquisition almost reached that same milestone in a single week and went on to become BioWare's most successful game in its already long history. Origins, Dragon Age 2, Inquisition, and the original Mass Effect trilogy all received significant post-launch support, but like Andromeda, the Veilguard was quickly cast aside. No expansions and only one surprise bit of DLC, offering some weapon skins and nothing else. What followed the Veilguard's launch, unfortunately, was redundancies and downsizing. Yeah, I mean, just watch the effects of selling the game. If it had sold better, it probably wouldn't have had this much, or maybe we don't know, considering there's been so many downsizing scenarios throughout the industry lately. So with its last two RPGs underperforming and being cast adrift and the failure of Anthem experiment, how can BioWare make a course correction? BioWare's dead! Long live BioWare! I always find these kind of dramatic sentences, a little cheesy. They still get a good chunk of dough for having the game on subscription platform, no? I don't know. I'm not really the best person to ask about that, but I would imagine it's far less than actual sales. But I don't know. I'm ignorant there. Anthem, ironically, was a success financially, but EA wanted Battlefront numbers. True. Yes. They wanted Battlefront numbers. Anthem was a huge mistake. It was so disconnected from the studio's RPG roots that it held little appeal for BioWare's primary audience, and it blundered into an established and notoriously competitive market without offering a big hook. But it wasn't a mistake for BioWare to attempt something different. This is even more true now. Okay, here we go. Both BioWare's longtime fans and the studio itself need to accept that the old BioWare is dead. The redundancies and staff shuffles have gutted BioWare over the years, and while old devs sometimes return, you cannot simply replace everyone, and you cannot shed this much institutional knowledge and expect success by sticking to the same playbook. We will never get another Baldur's Gate, a KOTOR, or an Origins from this company ever again. But well, technically we could, but it's not going to be the golden age BioWare, or whatever you would call them, like you may remember them. But with the resources the studio has available, we could get something new. And okay, let's give him a chance. Here's the thing: BioWare never used to rest on its laurels. In the 90s and early 2000s, it was bringing tabletop RPGs to PC gamers, then it was taking advantage of console dominance, creating streamlined RPGs that focused on best-in-class storytelling, and by 2007 it was experimenting with cinematic storytelling and shooter mechanics. BioWare's secret sauce was its ability to read the room. It was always looking for new ways to bring its RPGs. By not putting all its eggs in one basket, the studio weathered the changing industry and maintained its reputation as a juggernaut. Several times over, it reimagined what an RPG could be. If modern BioWare was around in the 90s, it probably would have stuck with Infinity Engine games, which would have been fine with me, but these, the guy, the journalist. But these isometric RPGs temporarily went out of style, and BioWare would have vanished with them. We wouldn't even have been blessed with Neverwinter Nights, an all-timer that only modders and their fans truly appreciated. Much has been made of BioWare's incredible legacy, but its ability to move forward and not rely on the legacy is what helped it become such a success story. But this wasn't simple trend chasing. BioWare wasn't just following the crowd, it was leading them. Then EA acquired it. Yeah, they essentially say, the person here essentially says that, well, obviously EA is the big bad guy from the beginning. And well, you know, there's been a lot. He is, yes, but also BioWare has kind of mishandled itself. There's been a lot of, you know, oh, where do we take the studio? Where do we go? And, you know, people in leadership that maybe should have not been in leadership. Like, I don't really know, but there's been a lot of things. And I guess it kind of started with EA. I'm not going to say no to that, but it's kind of, you know, it's, you can blame both of them for the situation where they are right now. Anyway, let's skip over some of this because there's, you know, the article gets way too long. But essentially what this person is saying is that they should try to make something new. They should try to create a new franchise, start smaller, start kind of from sort of scratch, and not try to essentially make Mass Effect 6, 7, and so on, and continue, you know, trying to make Dragon Age, because that's not going to work. I mean, this person has a point, but I think they also bring this up in the article itself, is that it's not really possible because EA now wants as much money as they can from the company, and if they start smaller, it's going to be like, yeah, okay, so they're not going to be able to deliver anything big. They want the Mass Effect numbers, right? EA want a big success, especially with Mass Effect. So essentially, kill BioWare or something. Essentially what he's saying is that we're like, it's a catch-22. We're stuck because BioWare can't be original. They have to make sequels on sequels for their most loved franchises or IPs. But at the same time, you know, they also need to like deliver something huge. So like they can't really go anywhere, essentially, is what he's saying. But the thing is, I disagree that that's the thing. They kind of, I think everybody understands this, that they are kind of stuck in a all your eggs in one basket. Like they've already put all their eggs in this one basket and now they can't really get out. So they have to go with Mass Effect, and I think everybody understands that if Mass Effect is not a success, the next game that is, the studio is probably gonna get shut down. I think all of us are on board with that notion. The studio is not gonna survive if Mass Effect does not just, you know, sell like hotcakes. It really does have to sell that much. You don't do 4 flops and still exist and be owned by EA. That does not happen. So, because we had Andromeda, which technically really wasn't a flop, but it wasn't a success really either. We had Anthem, we had Veilguard. For, you know, they basically need a Baldur's Gate, right? Exactly. They need something that is so mind-blowing. They need something that is so so incredible that basically everybody wants to play it. They also have this show that they're working on as well, right? Which could help with the success of the game, but it's still one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, they need to deliver on everything. I think it's game over if they don't. It's already a miracle that EA hasn't shut them down already, so they really need to deliver the best they can. Yeah, I honestly think, I'm going to be completely honest with you, that's the only reason EA is keeping them alive right now, is to keep Mass Effect alive. They want to try one more time because essentially Mass Effect is the Star Wars that they actually own, right? Because they've been licensing Star Wars from Disney. But Mass Effect is their Star Wars. Like it's the big RPG franchise, I guess. Dragon Age is as well, or I guess Dragon Age was their Lord of the Rings to what Mass Effect is to Star Wars, right? But hey, Dragon Age didn't really work out. This is their Hail Mary, yes. And I'm all aboard that Hail Mary. Deliver the best possible game that you possibly can, BioWare. That means go hard in the taint with everything that made the original trilogy so good. One of those things, the tone, of course the writing, but the tone, it needs to be dark. Of course, funny moments here and there, but it needs to be intelligent, smart, big ass choices. Everything that really, when you think about the core identity of what made Mass Effect such a great franchise, all those things, and make it a game for grown-ups, for actual, full-on grown-ups this time. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Word of mouth and a lot of rave reviews will be the only thing that will get me remotely interested in the next Mass Effect. Yeah. That is the only thing that really counts nowadays. It's the word of mouth. It's one of the reasons, like, when you look at the game like Crimson Desert, why Crimson Desert, for example, had such a skewed reception, because from a lot of articles and from a lot of these big magazines, it got pretty reviews. But on the other hand, we had a lot of content creators being like, I love this game, and blah 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 blah, and there was a whole different world there. It had problems for sure, but it's one of those things where I think word of mouth and just organic content creators and just people that you talk to and you watch, those are the people that you listen to, and so a game can become a success because of that. We really do live in that time where a lot of big magazines and stuff, they're struggling because they can't get a lot of people to trust them, which is very interesting. The best thing they could do with Mass Effect show is make the Shepard be twins. Oh, Shepard is not going to be in it. It's going to be a sequel to Mass Effect 3. So it follows after Mass Effect 3. That's as far as we know. So it's canonically a sequel. Sirius, welcome. How you doing? Yeah, you're not interested in games like Crimson Desert. It's not for you, but I'm glad others are having a blast with it. Yeah, I mean, I kind of had to take a pause. I think I played 200 hours, but at some point I felt like, okay, I gotta chill. So I haven't played it in a few days now. It's pretty cool, but yeah, there were some issues at launch, and they've fixed most of them. Anyway, let's move on to this. We were talking about this the other day as well, I think a few days ago or a few weeks ago, actually. The Mass Effect TV show, this one was a big one that I made me go, when you read this at first, Amazon TV boss reportedly requested rewrites to make it more appealing to non-gamers, and everybody was reacting about this, right? They're like, oh, what do you mean non-gamers? I talked about it on my Patreon. In case you want to see the video, you're welcome. Anyway, so when I first read this, I was like, oh god, what are they doing? Oh boy, don't tell me it's another Halo situation. But when I look more into it, it's kind of a no news kind of thing, because it doesn't say anything other than more appealing to non-gamers. What does this mean? Because that can mean a lot of different things. Is that specifically to make it more generic? Are they making the dialogue kind of, Marvel funny and things like that? That's a lot of people that I've seen worry about that. Is it specifically to bake in the lore in certain dialogues so you don't have to sit there and read through a big ass, codex to learn everything? Is that what they're talking about here? What are they talking about here? And we don't know. It's one of those unfortunate, yeah, but we need more context. What are they talking about here? What do you mean more appealing to non-gamers? It's very aggressive when you read it like that, because you instantly go, oh, I'm a gamer, so you're saying they're gonna make it for non-gamers. Do you have a problem with me being a gamer? That's how a lot of people have been reacting. And I get it, but you're falling for it. Because there's nothing. There's actually nothing. So I say wait and see. We'll have to wait and see with this. This is why I didn't want to make a video on YouTube, because it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, but this is literally nothing. It's you know, if that means what I think it means, but I don't think it means that. Fox on with the €2. You think so? I don't know. I don't know. I think it's, I don't know. Maybe I'm just hoping. I have some hopium in my veins here. Maybe I'm thinking that it's just, you know, it's just the lore. You know, try and make it more accessible, I guess. We'll have to wait and see. But it is Amazon Prime. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it is. Anyway, we've got a couple of clips here from Exodus. We gotta look at this, because I haven't covered all of these clips. A couple of them I have. I made a video about this one. Should we watch all of them, or should we just watch the smaller clips that I haven't talked about? I can only imagine them cutting and changing some of the lore to appeal to non-gamers. Yeah, I would imagine so too. Hopefully it's just that. Hopefully it's not anything else. All of them? Okay, well, let's take a look. Let's check out Exodus, guys. It's time for Exodus. There we go. Gameplay. I mean, already, I think when everybody saw this, I think most of us were like, oh, that is literally just Mass Effect. Not literally just, but, you know, it's so in the DNA of Mass Effect already. And it looks good, I gotta say. Jenna, how you doing? Damn. Damn. Where's the frames? I think it's locked at 30 or something. I would imagine. Seems like it is. Yeah, the music is pretty great. Hankaraglyph. Yeah, the music is one of those things, you know, I wonder if this is something that people generally think about. That's always the main thing I think about, is like, oh, if they've nailed the music, usually that means they've nailed the game as well. Let's hope, because it's not always like that, but man, it's all, you know, it's really, oh yeah, the sound is so good. There's that, you can see that there is some polishing still to be done here. This was still like, this was, what was it, a couple of weeks ago this came out, but you can see that there are some small clipping things that happen here and there, like somewhere here with the hand when he opens the door. There's small things, but it's like, it's nothing major, and it's looking like they're really polishing it up. Then we had this one, Breaching Konsu. Oh shit, no sound. It's definitely like, it's super Mass Effect-y. And here we see the, right, this is the transforming rifle. What's it called again? God damn it. Because that's going to be like the main function of how you fight. You transform your rifle into different modes. There are apparently other weapons as well, but they're mostly showcasing this one for now. The main weapon, the default or basic weapon. This is a shredder. And this one I just loved so much. This is like an exploding spear. I think it also has acid in it or something. God. Sound design, man. Is there jumping? There is jumping. You can jump. It's very free form. So it's definitely, I would say, now, take this with a grain of salt, but it definitely has more of that fluid combat system as in Andromeda. Hold on. Andromeda definitely had some of the best combats among Mass Effect. Even if you don't like Andromeda, even if you hate Andromeda, you could probably still admit that the combat was pretty satisfying. So that is the only similarity I really see here. It's like some of the combat is like, yeah, damn, that looks smooth, right? Hopefully it feels as smooth when you actually play it. We're still a year away, basically. I don't really know. Is it? Yeah, we don't know the month yet, so hey. Yeah, that Shockwave Spear looked neat for sure. And there is another one I haven't seen yet, so we're going to get to that in just a moment. Oh. Right, and this one to the this one over there to the left. So in case you're wondering, yeah, that above me, that is the octopus in a mech suit. So the thing that's controlling the mech suit is an octopus. God, I love that. I don't know. I just find that so interesting. That is the first time I think we've actually gotten, aside from like the mind flayers in Baldur's Gate, where you actually get like an octopus. What? It's like. God, what? Marto, welcome. How many squad mates will there be? Good question. Maybe 6 or 7? I don't know. What is that music, man? What is that chorus, dude? That is so cool. It's like, if they've nailed the aspect of the music and the sound design so well, I really hope that's reflected in the game itself. It looks like it is, reflective of the game. Because when you hear that, in the background, it sounds so divine, like almost godly. It's, it sounds like something evolved, kind of. And that's the point of the game, I think. It fits the theme of the entire game. And, I really hope there is a lot of exploration, because I feel like, as long as there is actual meat to it and it's not just, there's a lot of barren shit. I really hope it's one of those things where it's, you have so much to explore, but it's actual handcrafted, good content. The guy working on the music is the same guy who worked on Ori and the Blind Forest. Damn, well, that explains it. That explains it. Because that is, I don't know, man. I'm a sucker for sound. You can't wait to see the extended gameplay. Same. Oh, we actually get right. I didn't think about this before. We actually get to see the octopus. Look, there she is. And yes, it's a she. No, you can't bang her. Her name is Salt, and you better respect her. Chad actually said, because I talked to Chad, which is one of the guys in the leadership. He said that this, like, Salt is his favorite thing in the entire game. So I expect Salt to be very memorable. I really hope so. Because it's damaged, like, for sure it stands out. Again, octopus in a mech, what? Cries in the deep? Yeah, I know. Oh boy. Get some environmental. maneuvering. Also, somebody mentioned this in, I think it was the YouTube video. Can you guys see what that looks like? Right there, where I'm holding the cursor, right above my, right next to my head. It's blue, green, and almost red. What? What do you think about when you think about these? Blue, green, red. Somebody said that they were like cheeky for this. And obviously, like, if it's not hitting you by now, it's, no, it's space meth, maybe. Oh no, this is, a stream crash? No, I don't think I crashed the stream. I'm still here, I think. Am I still here? Oh yeah, that too? No, it looks like, it looks, you instantly kind of think, traffic lights? No. Mass Effect 3 endings. Guys, come on. Guys, you kid. The Mass Effect 3 endings. It's literally blue, red, and green. So that's what the ME3 devs were smoking. Yeah, control, synthesis, and destroy. I actually wonder if that was the point with that. You know, when you really look at this and you're like, why is there a blue one, a green one, and red one? And we know that some of the devs that worked on Mass Effect are working on this game. Yeah, Easter egg. I really think that's an Easter egg. Yeah. And they are also in order, are they? Yeah, they kind of are. Yeah, because technically Destroy is the perfect ending. Synthesis is kind of not really the perfect ending. You need a higher EMS score to get the red one. So it's blue, green, red. Very funny. If the, like, Archetype, if that, I wonder if anybody's like from Archetype is watching this. If that was actually a Easter egg, that was genius. Awesome. Good one. I love when they poke fun at themselves, kind of. But you don't know. Maybe it wasn't meant to be that, but I really hope it was. Also, the running style is so goofy, and I kind of love it. I think a lot of Mass Effect fans are going to be like, oh yeah, that's kind of like the shepherd jog, right? I don't know, man. It just... You know, I wonder, should they change it? I don't think they should, because it's charming. It looks really goofy and kind of dumb, but it's... Yeah, I mean... Looks like the shepherd jog? Yeah, it does. There may also be several movement types. Very true. We haven't seen a female June yet, because there is a female June. I know I've seen a lot of like women comment that on my channel, be like, but I can't play as, you know, a woman. I want to play as, you know, female June. And, you know, I've had to respond, but there is. We just haven't seen it yet. So I think a lot of people are like in for a surprise when they think that the game is about this, you know, this specific protagonist. Which it is, but it's like the shepherd situation or rider situation or whatever, you know. You can pick. Very nice. Imagine Femshep Jog being there too. Yeah. Also kind of goofy. Both of them are kind of goofy. Okay, here's the latest one. Stealth in Action. Very nice. I love that they actually named the clip this. I haven't seen this yet. So what I'm going to do is should I turn myself off so you guys can see it? Or should I still have myself up here? Because to my right, it's just, you know, it's just ammo and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to keep myself up. Oh, nice scan. God damn. No, oh, I like it. What the shit? Why am I so surprised about the scanning feature? That looks so good. I'm not trying to sell you guys on the game. Just literally when I'm like, that's so satisfying. Why is that? Why does that look so good? Look at that scanning feature, man. I just like the design, you know, the faint kind of yeah, sort of artificial kind of look on it, but it's not too much Batman. Yeah, it's kind of like Batman's detective mode. It is. Zealot Soldier. New codex entry, by the way, so we're going to be able to look at a lot of codex if you love reading through that stuff. It's going to be in Exodus 2. The good old Mass Effect codex. Disarm, hold. Okay. I wish there was a little animation there for that, but maybe it becomes too clumsy or it's too much of a time waster to add that. But it would have, you know, added something to it. You know, he has to like do something or use his what's it called? The whatever, his powers to kind of disable it or something. That would have been, yeah, I like small details like that. RB. Interesting. What was that? Did he just use his... Yeah, he used his powers here. I wish there was more of an impact here, though. We'll have to watch the rest of the clip as well. So there definitely needs to be something more, you know, oomph with this one. You know, it works. It works. But it could, you know, like in Mass Effect 3, when you sneak up behind like a Cerberus soldier and you use the Omniblade behind, like, you know, the soldier, and Shepard pulls them over and just smashes the Omniblade into their faces. It's not super, you know, assassin or stealthy, but it's still like one of those, bam, you know, it's nice. Yeah, more immersive, and that it takes the game far. There's small details here that I'm seeing that they could add. The takedown is so Adam Jensen coded. Good point. It definitely feels a little bit more like Deus Ex in terms of like takedowns. So it's not bad. It's just not what I expected. How is he gonna deal with the robots? Spectre. Oh. Oh, nice sniper. Okay, that was kind of nice. It's very silent, of course, as you would expect. But it could be, I don't know, maybe more neck snapping and maybe, I don't know, just shank him in the back, something like that. So yeah, hopefully as you mentioned there, the stealth has more depth at launch. Yeah, I hope so too. But it looks, you know, it looks pretty okay when it comes to like sneaking through and just, you know, the stealth gameplay in itself. But I hope that there's more depth to it. But I like that sniper rifle though. That sniper rifle setting. What did they call it? Spectre. That one I like. I like that one. Hard to shank a robot if it was a robot. True. Or just rip its head off, you know. Maybe that's not super stealthy, but still. Something for each enemy type or species. Yeah. But, you know, it looks pretty cool. It's nice to see that they're actually showing off more and more stuff here. But again, like, I can't wait for the deep dive because that's going to be in summer. Probably around Summer Games Fest, right? I would imagine. Yeah, big metal bodies making no sounds. Yeah. Some stuff needs to be, you know, worked on. Again, a work in progress gameplay, as it says here, not representative of final. So we'll judge it when we see it in full. At any rate, like I'm really looking forward to this. I've been reading through all my my books, my Exodus books again. It's like one of those things when you read it through, you're like, oh, the world building is so crazy. It's so insane. Here we have another Celestial standing in the background there. Pretty cool. We need a beta for that one too. Yeah, we definitely do, I feel. We're getting a beta, an open beta for the Expanse Reborn. So we should probably move on to that now. Check out this trailer again because holy, let's go. Let's go.
It was like another life. Everything made sense to you.
Oh, you're back already? Wait, so you flew in on that?
Now, every voice, a tight beam.
Protegen will easily turn this into a massacre if they want.
We need him alive!
Locked on to you, like a torpedo.
Do not interfere.
The universe never tells us if we did right or wrong.
Series belongs to Belters. I didn't become a mercenary to run away from my enemies.
Fear festering into hatred. Typical.
Surely a little gun doesn't scare you.
A Trojan horse. Protegen let its own enemies in.
An enemy
So
of my
hot.
enemy is
Goddamn.
my friend?
We have to find our own answer.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to this one for sure. It's I'm always kind of blown away when I watch this trailer. I mean, just look at that face. The only thing I dislike about Expanse is the alienless team, but that's just the universe. Yeah, it's so I don't want to spoil too much, but it's not really. Well, I get what you mean, alienless team, because it's all about humans or humanity essentially. But there are, well, I'm not going to spoil. And no, you don't need to read the books or watch the show really to understand the game. Maybe watching the show would help you out in like getting more immersed and understanding the universe better. But I think you're going to be fine just playing the game. Sci-fi RPG sitting good in 2027. Oh, for heck yeah, What the hell? Ceres belongs to Belters. Sounds kind of like Mark Meer. You think? You think? Maybe a little. Yeah, Miranda's younger sister has grown up. Yeah, for sure. Is the show on Prime or Netflix? It's on Prime, right? Yeah, it's on Prime. Favorite Expanse character and why is it Amos? It's Amos because I feel like he is I don't know, I just like him. He's like a sociopath, right? He's a violent sociopath, but he still does the right thing most of the time. He's kind of like, well, no, he's not at all like, but he reminds me of Bullseye from the Daredevil show. Specifically the rendition they went with for the Daredevil show. Now, if you haven't watched the last season or the latest episode even, you wouldn't understand, I think, but it's like, I like characters like that, you know, where they're struggling with what they're doing because they don't seem to understand what they're doing is wrong or, you know, etc. And just Amos is this kind of, he's just so cold and he just fucking, you know, he just blasts folks in the face. He asks no questions and he just walks away. He just deals with it. He usually doesn't talk. He doesn't like try to evaluate anything. He usually just goes blam and just goes. Yeah, he's very flawed, but I love that. He's a flawed, like almost like a robotic human that can't really deal with emotions in various ways. I just like the way he's represented, I guess. Yeah, he's that guy. Amos is that guy. He is that guy for sure. Total psycho. I guess you could say that. Yeah, he's just cold and cool. Drummer and Avarsarala are the best in the TV series. I would still say Amos. I think every time it goes without Amos, I feel like, can we get back to Amos? Bullseye is indeed interesting in Born Again. Yeah, for sure. He's definitely my favorite character right now. It's just, he does some evil shit, but he's just so cool to watch. Holy crap, some of the scenes where he's like brutalizing people. Oh, Jesus, holy. Anyway, we got to talk about Fate of the Old Republic, because this one, how are we feeling about this one? How is chat, how are you guys feeling about Fate of the Old Republic? We got to talk about this one first. I would imagine you guys are pretty hopeful, but I'm feeling hopeful about this one. I mean, it's Casey Hudson is back making Star Wars again, so that's something. Cool as a cucumber. Amos is a rare portrayal of a psychopath who isn't a crazy serial killer. Yeah, in a cool way. Thankfully. In Casey you trust. I see. Anyway, let's read this little excerpt here. The fate of the galaxy is in your hands in a narrative-driven action RPG where you step into the role of a Force user on a journey through a galaxy on the edge of rebirth. Blending innovative storytelling, memorable characters, and heart-pounding combat. Really? How heart-pounding? Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic immerses you in an unforgettable experience where every decision deepens your journey toward light or darkness. Heart pounding, eh? Let's look at the trailer. It's that ship! Very hype, I have to say. And I gotta brag for a moment. I was in the audience for this, which was even more amazing because the roar, I can actually personally remember and judge based on how much hype each trailer had for everything that happened in the Game Awards show, because I was there, I was sitting in there. And dude, the roar, that was so crazy. My ears almost blew out when I saw this. The craziest thing is, even seeing Casey Hudson in the front row, because they also zoom in on him, which was like, I was like, oh, I gotta talk to him. I gotta say hi. But I didn't get to say hi. I didn't want to be a bother. That's just being Swedish. I don't want to bother people. So but it was crazy. Just, oh my God, dude, the hype. Star Wars needs more good media. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Chavi, I was roaring at home during the stream. I could only imagine. We were like sitting like a row, like the people I went with which was like a bunch of people. Each of us were like sitting on this row, right? And all of us went like, you know, what the shit? Did they just really do this? Man, I couldn't imagine it. I was so, I don't know. Were you at the Ensven squad in the front row? I wish you guys were with me. Wouldn't that have been something? You know, the entire Ensven squad sitting in the entire row. That would be cool. As saturated as Star Wars stuff has been in the recent memory, Wiz gamers still clamor for good Star Wars games. Yeah, I mean, Knights of the Old Republic, it was the game that really kickstarted essentially Mass Effect. So, and a lot of BioWare's future success, definitely. And so, yeah, man, like, I understand why so many people have such a love for these games set in this period of time. Because it's just, you know, it's so distinct and distinctly Star Wars, but it's so specific to a certain era that worked so well. I never played KOTOR and SWOTOR, nor am I a big Star Wars fan, but I'm still interested in this. It looks cool. Yeah, it does look cool. But I do wonder how they're going to make this, if this is going to be, you know, we'll have to see. There's a lot of information we still don't really know about it, but I'm looking forward to it. And we, I don't know if you guys saw this one. Did you guys hear about this?
Peace is a lie. That is what the Sith believe. They promise power. Now they wield it. We face the greatest Sith in generations. They must be stopped.
Rest in pieces, this no, I'm not gonna say that, because obviously, as we all know, if you've watched the video I made before, the KOTOR remake is alive and well, but it's not Aspire making it anymore. Yes, I said it. I said Aspire. Because people all the time, they tell me that I'm saying it wrong, so then I switch. Now I say it in a wrong way, in another wrong way. It's apparently Aspire, as you aspire to something, but it's not spelled like aspire, it's aspire. It's an ass and it's pyre. It's ass and fire. There we go. That it's not something. I don't want to be an ass to aspire, but it's like literally. Anyway, that may be the last we see of Revan. No, it is happening, but it's not them anymore. It's Saber Interactive, the guys who's making the Warhammer games, you know, and a couple of other games. You know, they're pretty well respected. What did you call me? Yeah, I think we're in for something good with this one when it actually does finally come out. 100% Star Wars, you know, the Star Wars YouTube creator, he has actually seen it. So he said that he feels very confident about it. You know, the game that they're actually making now from Saber. So yeah, you know, I trust him. Aspire can occur after eating some spicy Mexican food. I wouldn't know, because I haven't really eaten true Mexican food. Even when I was in LA, I didn't get to try like true Mexican food. The only Mexican food I got to try was what's that fast food chain again? Taco Bell. But that's not Mexican, right? But yeah, it was pretty good though. We don't have Taco Bell down here, so hey. Yeah, Aspire is known for porting games and making them, not making them, so I don't know what they were thinking letting them try to remake KOTOR. They probably just wanted to do, you know, have a step up. Where's down here in Sweden? So I would say up here, probably more accurate to say. Yeah, Taco Bell ain't the real deal. I would imagine that it isn't, but I'd imagine I get to try actual Mexican food at some point. I hope. But yeah, we have in total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games to look forward to in the science fiction RPG space, because I do count the remake as a new game because it's probably going to be a very remake. It's probably going to be far in terms of graphical fidelity and stuff like that compared to the old one. So yeah. Antranig V, appreciate the sub. Thank you for joining and welcome to the Twitch community right there. Gonna be more like same story, new game. Yeah, pretty much. I hope they don't change too much in terms of story, because then it's more like a reimagining than anything. Why? Missed a good opportunity to eat real Mexican food in LA. I know. I think it was basically just we didn't really have the time because everything was scheduled. So, you know, there wasn't really much we could do. We had to also kind of like stay around the core of LA so we don't like run off too much. And then it's expensive as hell. So it's just like we were like staying mostly in the core. We were traveling somewhere, you know, or to Universal, for example, to check that out and things like that. But we never really visited any sort of cafe or something like that. Not like a real, I guess you would say like a real Mexican place or something like that, unfortunately. I wish we had. There's still the Star Wars Jedi 3 coming as well, for sure. And I'm looking forward to that, but it's not an RPG. Gotcha there. So that's why I didn't like bring it up. Because these games that I've covered today, right, they're the type of science fiction RPG that are in the same corner of gaming. They're like heavily choice-based. They're, of course, science fiction, as, you know, Jedi 3 is as well, but it's specifically this type of game where you make a lot of heavy-handed choices, and you know, you can create your character and you can mess around with them, and you can play as a male or female. Like it's like a real role-playing game. Sirius, welcome, man. How you doing? What is that music? I got some kind of triggers from it. The music? Which one? This one? This one right here? I wonder. Mass Effect kind of games, my favorite. Yeah, or KOTOR-like games, if that was your first experience with these types of games. Man, I just gotta check before I gotta check if they have actually released something new with the Expanse. Because we got Exodus today, which I wasn't expecting, which was nice. Very nice. But I just gotta check. Nothing yet. Well, that's unfortunate. Anyway, guys, I think this was the stream for today. I just wanted to have a little chat and check in with you guys, see how things are going, and just talk about some science fiction games for you know, every once in a while. I'm thinking, should we try to do a playthrough again? I've been like meaning to go back to my Mass Effect Andromeda Revisited review because I haven't made that yet, of course. But maybe I should, but then I still need to play through Andromeda because I haven't fully done that yet. I'll ask you guys on a poll later on. I can ask you guys on Discord actually, so make sure you become an NSven veteran, either here or on Patreon, and join the Discord server so we can so you can vote on if we should continue the Mass Effect Andromeda playthrough or the Mass Effect Trilogy playthrough that I started. Yes, I should go. Thank you guys for checking in as always. And thank you for all the support as always. Guys, take care, and hopefully I'll see you this weekend. But remember, Discord.